So what we know right now is police have surrounded this apartment building, and this is where Ostrom lives. We don't know if he's inside or if he's in this apartment building. But
there has been a lot of police activity here this morning, which is why our reporter, Drew Engelbart, again, is on the scene. You do see some emergency personnel there now, and we think Drew can hear us now, and we're looking for the latest. Again, right. This is a fluid situation, so we're following it as it happens. Drew?
All right, and apparently this area, we don't want to give out the exact location because we don't want to mess anything up with the search, but it's just off the Boulder Turnpike,
our
36.
Elliot here, that the FBI is on scene. He said that he saw some people wearing some FBI jackets as well. And I do want to mention 72nd and Pecos is the area that we are in. We have some databases where if you have a name, you can search an address. And so we were able to do that once we found out the name of the suspect. And then when you have an idea of what his address is and where he may be living, and then you're listening to scanner traffic and you're hearing that address continue to pop up. That was when we first came over here this morning, once again about 5 a.m. And everything's really started to build. Since we first got here at 5 a.m., there were a couple undercover cars, but not much going on. In the hours that have built up since, we saw 2 SWAT trucks come in. I think they call them their Bearcat trucks. We saw 2 of those pull in. We saw a crime lab pull in. So this is certainly a story that is developing as we speak and has been developing for the last 2 hours.
Thanks, Drew. Certainly if he's not there, police and FBI want to get inside that apartment to see if there's any other evidence linking the suspect to the deadly shootings last night.
But if you are in anywhere near that area, again, we're talking about the Boulder Turnpike, 72nd and Pecos, and you see police activity and SWAT team activity, you know that this may be related to that shooting at Walmart last night. Drew is going to continue to follow the situation there, and we'll check in a little bit more with him. Again, they do have the name that is new this morning of the suspect. We have just found out Scott Ostrom. He is 47 years old. Police are considering him to be armed and dangerous.
Yeah, and he does have a criminal record pass. He's been charged with assaulting a police officer, DUI, and numerous other crimes starting back from the 90s. So he's certainly a person that police would know about because of his somewhat lengthy criminal record. But again, this is happening just south of the Boulder Turnpike, Highway 36, between Pecos and Federal along 72nd. So as Natalie said, if you see a lot of police activity in that area, this is because they're being very cautious. They don't know what's inside the apartment, who's inside the apartment, but this is the last address they have for the suspect, Scott Ostrom. He's 47 years old. And again, they're still searching for that red or maroon Mitsubishi Mirage vehicle, 4 doors. And as you can imagine, they're stopping several that fit that description this morning, but we do have the license plate. I know the first 3 numbers are 822.
Yeah,
so,
it's Colorado plates 882.
882, okay.
TQB, Colorado license plate 882 TQB. That is what they're looking for. A lot of questions still this morning for police. Of course, that is their #1 priority, is finding Scott Ostrom. They believe as of now that he acted alone, but no motive has been revealed. Also, one thing we are waiting for this morning and a big concern are these 3 victims, 2 men and a woman who were killed in this Walmart last night.
They haven't released those names because police have not released them to us. So as soon as they do that, we will release them to you. But as you just saw in that live picture, looks like a lot of the SWAT officers were leaving the scene. We're coming out of that apartment where they believe Scott Ostrom, the suspect, lived, and obviously nobody is inside, we don't think, but a lot of the SWAT units have left that apartment right now after it was cleared.
And I might add that Drew has been on scene here for nearly 3 hours, so authorities have been on scene that long, with SWAT there that long as well, and it doesn't look as if they have gone inside this building, but it's hard for us to know right now. You can see we're still at a distance from this location.
Don't know if that's the apartment and the door is open, but we're seeing the police activity, of course, inside.
It looked as if some flashes, as if they were taking some pictures there.
We know they were waiting for a search warrant to get into the apartment. So again, don't think anybody was inside because it looked like SWAT officers were leaving, but they obviously want to find out what's inside that apartment, any evidence linking the suspect to those deadly shootings last night. Of course, if you're just joining us, 3 people dead at the Walmart in Thornton. Guy just came in, shot 3 people, killed them, and then just, as police said, nonchalantly walked out, got into that red Mitsubishi, and took off.
There were a lot of people in the store at the time. There were a lot of witnesses. We are hearing from some of them this morning as well. But again, Scott Ostrom is the man that they are looking for. They are considering him armed and dangerous this morning. And, you know, time is of the essence when it comes to situations like this, because we are now at nearly 14 hours since that shooting, which was just after 6 p.m. yesterday.
Yeah, so they don't know where he is. They've got a nationwide search out. But again, this is a scene live from an apartment that we're really not showing you the exact location of, because we don't want to interfere with any police investigation. But we believe that they've been now possibly maybe inside his apartment along 72nd, again, between Pecos and Federal, looking for evidence and possibly thinking maybe he was inside, but it doesn't appear to be, because a lot of the SWAT officers look like they were leaving the scene. And
there were many customers who were at that Walmart, dozens who were taken to the Thornton Police Department so they could try to gather some more information. So our Julie Leonardi is covering that. Jim Hooley is at the Walmart this morning. As we've said, Drew Engelbart is right there at that apartment where SWAT teams are this morning. So we've got all bases covered.
And again, no motive yet. So police think it possibly is random. We'll be right back with more.